Reproduction in Plants Part 2. So, let's recap what we learned in the previous videos. In the previous videos, we learned what is reproduction, then modes of reproduction in plants, types of reproduction. There are two types, sexual and asexual reproduction in plants, then different types of asexual reproduction, right? So, let us continue where we were. So, we were in artificial means of vegetative propagation. Let me explain you again artificial means of vegetative propagation. So, first one in artificial means of vegetative propagation is cutting. It is a method or it is a basic process in which a cutting from a plant is taken and planted. This cutting is a part of a stem or the branch of a plant. So it's a process where there is a part which has been cut from the plant and it is taken and planted. So this part which has been cut is the part of a stem or it is a branch of the plant. And example, roses. Yeah, if you remember the example, it would be easy for you. Okay, and then grafting is the second division. So sometimes you can see, you must have observed that two plants are joined, together, so that both can have be provided the desired things or characteristics to the new plant. Okay, so one plant will be rooted in the ground, which is called the stalk. Yes, so the plant which remains rooted in the ground is known as the stalk and provides the essential nutrients and water, while the other plant stem is attached to it. In this way, a new plant develops. I hope you understood what is grafting. It's a basic process where two plants are joined together so that they can provide the desired characteristics to a new plant which will be formed. So one plant will be rooted in the ground, other will be attached to its stem is attached to it. So the plant which is rooted in the ground will provide water, essential nutrients, and in this way the new plant can develop. And this example is apples. Yes, apples form through the process of grafting and roses cutting. So we understood what is grafting and cutting. Now we will learn about budding. So first of all, I hope all of you know that yeast is an organism that contains a single cell. It is a fungi, not a plant. Yes, please remember, yeast is a fungi, not a plant. It can propagate every few hours if the proper amount of nutrients are available to it. So as the yeast finds favorable conditions, a small bulb-like projection produces from the yeast called bud. Yes, so the small bulb-like projections which are produced from the yeast are known as bud. Yes, these bud grow and then they are detached from the parent yeast. Yes, and this new cell then grows, measures and produces more cells. So this new cell then it grows, then measures and produces more cells. So first of all, there is the parent yeast from where the bud is there. Then from the bud there is the new yeast cell. Then these separated yeast cells, or there can be a chain of yeast cells, as you can see in the picture. Yeah. So now I hope you understood budding in yeast. Okay, now we will talk about fragmentation fragmentation or fragmentation. Okay, algae like Spirogyra. Let me tell you the correct pronouncing. Actually, this is not the correct pronouncing. I'll tell you the correct pronouncing. Yeah. Just a second. Yeah. So the correct pronunciation is, there are two ways which you can either Spirogyra or Spirogyra. Yes. So algae like Spirogyra generally reproduce by the process of fragmentation, in which they divide themselves into multiple parts. As soon as the algae find enough water and nutrients, it fragments and grows into new individuals. Yes, individuals. This process continues and algae multiply quickly in a short period of time. So basically here they let us know about the general reproduction by the process of fragmentation, where algae like Spirogyra, it's a specific type of algae, I guess, okay, which is they divide themselves into multiple parts. So as soon as the Spirogyra algae find enough water and nutrients, it fragments and grows into new individuals. Yes, and then this process continues and these Spirogyra algae multiply quickly into a short period of time. Yes, so this was fragmentation or fragmentation. Now, yeah, this is a bit tricky topic. So, spore formation. Now, some plants contain spores that float in air and cause asexual reproduction, right? So, there are few plants which contain spores and they float in air, so which causes asexual reproduction. A spore has a hard protective cover which protects it from the unfavorable environment conditions like temperature and humidity. So the spore has a hard protective cover. It's like you can take, let me give you some example. Yeah, so whenever you go to school, you take lots of books. You take it in a bag, right? So that they don't fall, they don't, the pages don't get torn and all. So like that, the spore has a hard protective cover, okay, which protects it from the unfavorable environmental conditions. Means this conditions like the environment, weather, humidity, temperature, which are not suitable for the spore. Yes. Then as a result, the spores can travel long distances and survive for a long duration of time, right? So, as soon as they find favorable conditions such as moisture and nutrients. So basically, the spores cannot, sustain or, survive kind in environmental conditions where there is a temperature which is not suitable for the spores and even the humidity. Yes, and the favorable conditions for a spore are moisture and nutrients. This is really important. The most important, like they can difference where it's favorable and unfavorable. And as soon as they germinate, like they find their favorable conditions, they germinate and form many new plants. Yeah. For example, moss propagate in this way. Yeah, they follow this method where some plants which contain spores float in air, which causes asexual reproduction, where a spore has a hard protective cover which protects it from the unsuitable environmental conditions or unfavorable environmental conditions, which are like temperature and humidity. So as a result, then the spores can travel long distance and survive for a long duration of time. Then as soon as they will find their condition, like the environment which is suitable for them, such as moisture and nutrients, they are the requirements, they germinate and form new plants. One of the examples is moss. Okay, now sexual reproduction in plants. Let us discuss about this in detail. So, the flowers of a plant are its reproductive organs that participate in the sexual reproduction process. Okay, so the male reproductive parts of a plant are stamen. So, as you can see in this picture, where there is anther and filament, these both together make the male reproductive part, which is stamen. Yes. The female reproductive parts of a plant are called pistil. Yes. So some flowers contain both stamen and pistil and are called bisexual flowers. So the flowers which contain both the male and female reproductive parts are called bisexual flowers. For example, lily, rose, brinjal, hibiscus, petunia, mustard, etc. And some flowers either contain the stamen or the pistil. Okay, so hence they are called unisexual flowers. Example, papaya, watermelon, cucumber, coconut, etc. So, the new plants produced contain the characteristics of both plants that participate in the sexual reproduction. Okay, so the new plants which have been produced contain the characteristics of both plants that participate in the sexual reproduction. The stamen consists of anther, okay, that has what? Pollen grains. So the stamen contains of anther which contains pollen grains. These pollen grains produce male gametes. Yes, this is a new word, male gametes. So the stamen, which consists of anther and filament, in the anther there is the presence of pollen grains which produce the male gametes. Okay, now what is the pistil? Okay, the pistil consists of 3 parts. One second, I would like to write something. It is the pistil. Just remember, the pistil consists of 3 parts. What are the 3 parts? Stigma, style, ovary. So stigma, it is a sticky surface where pollen grains get attached. Okay, so what is stigma? It is a sticky surface where the pollen grains get attached. As you can see the picture, there is stigma present. What is style? It is a tube-like structure which connects the stigma and the ovary. Basic. It's a tube which connects the stigma and ovary. What is the ovary? It contains egg in which female gametes or eggs are formed. So, in the male reproductive part, anther contained pollen grains, okay, which produce Yeah, so I was saying that the anther contains pollen grains which produce male gametes, and here the ovary contains eggs in which the female gametes or the eggs are formed. So this is the difference where the male and female gametes are formed. So now we are going to know about the process where male gametes reach female gametes in the plants. Okay, uh, the male and female gametes or gametes. Okay, actually I wanted to say something. You can even pronounce gametes or gametes. Yeah. The male and female gametes fuse and form a zygote. Yes, the male gametes reach the female gametes by the process of pollination. So, a zygote is where the male and female gametes fuse and form it, and the process of pollination is where the male gametes or gametes reach the female gametes or gametes. So, as I said, the spores have a hard protective cover. Even the pollen grains have a tough covering, which allows them in surviving the different climatic conditions. So, due to the light weight, winds and water often carry them away to different plants, right? As they are light in weight, they are carried off by the winds and water to different plants. Sometimes the pollen grains also get attached to the insects which carry them to different flowers. This process of transfer of pollen grains from the stigma to another is called pollination. So, the process where the transfer of pollen grains from one stigma to another is known as pollination. Yes. So, as you can see in the picture here, there is the transfer of pollen grains taking place from the one stigma to another, and these male and female gametes are fusing and forming the zygote. Yeah. So, as you have taken a look at the picture. Now, in pollination also, we have types of pollination. So, self-pollination. Yeah. So, self-pollination or autogamy. Yes. So, when the pollen grains land on the stigma of the same flower, it is basically where the pollen grains land on the stigma of the same flower. As you see in the picture 1, the pollen grains have landed at the stigma of the same flower. Cross-pollination, xenogeny or exogeny. Yes. So, when the pollen grains land on the stigma of a different flower, whether of similar kind or different kind. So, either it can be a similar kind or a different kind. We don't know. It can land on the pollen grains can land on the stigma of a different flower, whether of a similar or different kind. Yeah. So that's all for today. In the next video, we'll learn more new topics. Till that, thank you and goodbye.